Good morning. We are in a different part of Edinburgh this morning, but literally a 10-minute walk from where we were yesterday and where our hotel is. Come to a location called Grassmarket. There's some interesting historical things that happened here at Grassmarket, so as we go around I'll take you through some of those things and hopefully be able to get some interesting food as we go along as well. Certainly going to go on a bit more of a food adventure later on today, but first thing to see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera, up here is the castle, Edinburgh Castle. We're going to try and get to go up as close as we can to that. I think you can go inside. Not sure what's in there or anything, but we'll go and have a look. It's going to be climbing up this big thing. More climbing today, more steps, but yeah, let me keep you updated with everything we find around Grassmarket and the interesting historical sites. A few things, as I said here, that are pretty cool to learn about. So let's go. So, interesting fact number one, I'm going to run you through about Grassmarket. So during World War I, a Zeppelin dropped a bomb on Grassmarket. Killed 11 people. Now what they say is that the bomb landed directly outside the front of the White Hart Inn. There is supposed to be a little memorial or flagstone on the pavement somewhere in front. I can't see it. I'm going to have a little bit more of a detailed look around as we go, maybe see what I can find, but certainly outside the front of the pub here, the White Hart Inn, is where they say that the bomb landed during World War I, killing 11 people in Grassmarket. The facts keep on coming about Grassmarket. So behind me is now a pub called The Last Drop. So The Last Drop was a place that, not when it was a pub or a bar, used to be a place where they would do public executions. They would hang people there. Last one taking place, I think on the sign says 1784, somewhere around there. It's interesting to know the story of Half Hang It Maggie. So this is a lady called Margaret Dixon who, let me just get this right, in 1724 she was hung for the murder of her illegitimate child. So that would have taken place here at the Last Drop. After she was hung, she was carted off back to her hometown a bit further away. As she was in transit after being hung, on her way back to her hometown to be buried, she woke up, and she hadn't actually died at all. She'd been hung but somehow had survived. What happened then, and the reason that the story is known as Half Hang It Maggie, is because in Scotland, especially at the time, you couldn't be hung twice or executed twice for the same crime. So because she'd already been hung for the crime of murdering her illegitimate child, because she then woke up, she was free to go on about her day as a normal citizen. And that's the story of Half Hang It Maggie, Margaret Dixon, who would have been hung here at the Last Drop. And silly old me, literally walk about 10 meters from where I just filmed that last video, is a bar called Maggie Dixon. So that is Half Hang It Maggie that we were just talking about. She's now got her own, well, not her own, but a bar named after her here in Grassmarket. The walk continues. We now come out of Grassmarket. We're on the Royal Mile, heading up towards the castle, and look at this. Another one thing you'll notice about Edinburgh, walking around here, is, I mean, my point proved as I was about to make there, a lot of churches, a lot of old religious buildings, but this part of town is has got a little bit of Hollywood history. So specifically here, we're in what's known as Old Town. It's where some of the, let me come this way from the sun, it's where some of the streets or things, the set was sort of based on for some of the Harry Potter films. You'll have to forgive my ignorance, I've never seen Harry Potter, but J.K. Rowling did write Harry Potter in Edinburgh, so that's a bit of history here. And if you want to go even further back for some other Hollywood history, you'd have to go back to 1961 when the great Walt Disney came to Scotland, and specifically to Edinburgh, to look for somewhere to film scenes for the film Greyfriars Bobby. In Grassmarket, where we started this morning, that started out originally as a grass market, so selling cattle and things. So again, forgive my ignorance, I haven't seen the film Greyfriars Bobby, but apparently at the end of the film, one of the characters ends up as a market trader. So Walt Disney, coming to Grassmarket, loved the location so much, ended up filming the final scenes of Greyfriars Bobby here in Edinburgh at Grassmarket. We are now on to the castle. Made it up to Edinburgh Castle, and so you can go in. I think half of it's still used currently by the military, and the other half you can sort of have a look around. This is an old residence for historical kings and queens. It's also got, let's say, a military garrison inside, and it was a prison and fortress. So many different uses. Beautiful building right at the top of town again. So thankfully no stairs today. We've been able to manage to walk up through the old town. Comes directly up to the castle. If you're walking through Edinburgh Old Town, at the end of the main street, the Royal Mile is this. You can't miss it. And we're up high again. Another beautiful view of the city. The reason we've come so early this morning is, one, we wanted it to be a bit cooler. The sun is out, it's a lovely day again, but it's a little bit cooler. But also, I mean, you can see from the barricades and things all around. There's a ticket office down here. This place gets very busy, so we didn't want to get stuck in the tourist trap, in the rat race of barging around, especially in these days of social distancing and coronavirus. So here we go, Edinburgh Castle. Forgive the sunshine again, but we can see whether the light will focus down this little alleyway here. What do you find down such a small alleyway, I hear you ask? Well, like the smallest pub in Scotland. Walked past it earlier, didn't even see it. It's called the Wee Pub. Wee, obviously in Scotland, Scottish, it means little or small, so the smallest pub in Scotland. Might go and check it out inside a bit later on and see what it's all about. Still things to see, too early to stop for a beer. The walking continues. Yesterday, in the previous video, which, let me see, which way is the sun, am I going? This way. So yesterday in the previous video we saw St Andrew's House, which is the older Scottish government building. Behind this wall fence here is a building that is the one built in 2004. So this is where the new Scottish government, the Parliament are. Normally you can walk through into certain areas. They have certain bits open at certain times. They also do walking tour guides. It's all free, you don't have to buy tickets. It's just a case of when they're open and when they're doing it, you can do it. However, since COVID has come into operation, that's completely shut down to the public at the moment. As you'd understand, they don't want anybody impacting with the members of Scottish Parliament. So here it is, the new building built 2004, opened 2004. Continuing walking around the lovely wall that someone decided was a good idea to put around the Scottish Parliament building, but there's actually a little bit more to it. There's a little sort of park area with some sort of pond or lake, and up here I referred to it in the last video as the mountain area. It's called Arthur's Seat. You can climb up to the top. One of these particular things has got like a thing called Arthur's Seat at the top. I believe is some sort of famous landmark. Potentially might get a chance to do that while I'm here, but looking at the height of the mountain, of Arthur's Seat mountain area, it looks like a long way. So we'll see how the walk goes today. Maybe tomorrow we might get a chance to go and do that. But further in front now of the new 2004 Scottish Parliament building, which actually, I've got to say, if you're building a new building for a Scottish Parliament 2004, it's a bit dull, it's a bit grey and dull. This sort of fence pattern wall thing that they've gone with, just bare concrete. Yeah, no point making it look nice. It's only a Scottish government building, Scottish Parliament. No point making it look exciting at all. Another little pond lake thing here out the front. It's certainly not the best looking building in the world. Just across the road from the lights of the new Scottish government, Scottish Parliament building, is what's known as Holyrood Palace. So this is the official Scottish home of the Queen. So anytime she's in Scotland, she'll come here. She does once every year, 1 week at the beginning of summer, she'll come and officially stay here at Holyrood Palace to do some royal duties, whatever they may be. But let's take a look through the gate here. Let me turn you around and just see Holyrood Palace, official Scottish home when the Queen visits, and certainly a much nicer building than the Scottish Parliament building across the road. It's the Hollywood history tour continues a bit through Edinburgh, so just walking down one of the side roads from Old Town Royal Mile, there's a place here called Layla's Mediterranean restaurant or bistro, which in the window says was seen in the film Avengers Infinity War. Again, not really a film buff, so I couldn't tell you if that's true or not, but a big sticker in the window, big sign in the window saying that place was as seen in the Avengers Infinity War. Hollywood history tour continues through Edinburgh this morning. Here it is. Any Avengers fans know what that's all about.